So the Vietnamese definitely love their brands, and they love international brands that have global appeal. Anything from Uniqlo to H&M to McDonald's, Burger King, and many of the other international brands. But of course, you also have the local brands as well, such as Highlands Coffee, Pho 24, Catinat, Phúc Long, and many of the other strong homegrown brands that Vietnam is known for. So if you're looking to do franchising globally and also bring it to Vietnam, you can definitely look at some of the considerations that we'll talk about today before you enter the market. So hello, my name is Ken Duong, international and business immigration attorney with over 14 years of experience helping individuals get citizenships all over the world, including US, Portugal, Grenada, and many other parts of the world. But before we get into the video today, make sure that you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all the most updated information about citizenship, residency, and investments all over the world. So why do the Vietnamese really love franchises? So there are multiple reasons why they do, and I'll share with you 5 of the main reasons. Number 1, familiarity and consistency. So you can expect the same or similar product or service everywhere you go. So one big example is called the Big Mac Index of McDonald's. You can go anywhere in the world and get the exact same Big Mac. So number 2, it is status symbol. So many times Vietnamese people just want to sit at a particular brand such as Starbucks, which may or may not be the best coffee because Vietnam is very good at making coffee. However, if you sit at the Starbucks, then you have status and you're willing to pay more money just for that status symbol. Number 3, regarding quality assurance. So the brands have international supply chains and they get ingredients all over the world. So you can expect, or you think you can get the highest quality product because international brands are sourcing from all over the world. So the 4th reason why the Vietnamese love franchises is regarding convenience. So many of the franchises have multiple locations, hundreds or even thousands in particular area. So therefore you can go to any block and see a 7-Eleven convenience store or a GS25. So it's easy for you to go and buy the particular product. And the 5th and the final reason that people love franchising is regarding the marketing and advertising. So franchises will charge their franchisees a marketing advertising fee as a percentage of revenue, and they'll use that to do campaigns, do billboards, and also signage and many other intellectual property so that the franchises are well known, well recognized, and always top of mind. So franchising in Vietnam started in the 1990s with big brands such as KFC, Lotteria, and Jollibee from the Philippines. After that, all these other brands from Singapore, United States, Europe, and many other countries around the world started pouring into Vietnam. For example, Starbucks in January 31st, 2013, opened up their first location at the New World Hotel. Then 2014, McDonald's came into Vietnam as well. And then after that, in 2022, even In-N-Out Burger from the US had a pop-up here in Vietnam. The Ministry of Industry and Trade reported that food and beverage accounted for 15% of Vietnam's GDP. So as you can see, the brands are coming in and they'll continue to come into Vietnam. So the question is, why is franchising blowing up in Vietnam? Statistics show that the Vietnamese now are spending on average $11 per day based on purchasing power parity. Also, the growing middle class by 2030 will be 36 million people. In 2000, only 10% of the Vietnamese were considered in the middle class, but now that is over 40%, with that number continuing to grow as the country continues to grow in GDP and rapidly globalizing. Moreover, 70% of the Vietnamese population uses the internet in 2022. And e-commerce is growing as well, and they're using buying online from Tiki or Shopee or Lazada and many of the other electronic platforms. And by 2030, the consumer class in Vietnam that will spend $30 per day will increase to 20% of the population based on a report by McKinsey. So now that you know about the Vietnam consumer trends for 2022, I want to talk to you about specific requirements of franchising. So if you are a foreign franchisor working with a Vietnamese franchisee or a Vietnamese franchisor that wants to sell to international foreign franchisees, then you definitely have to register your franchise agreement with the government authorities. There's no specific law regarding franchising in Vietnam. However, it's under the business law. So therefore, it's under contract and you make sure you have all your franchise agreements. So from my experience working with GS25 as a franchisee of the global brand, it's a Korean company invested into Vietnam as a master franchisor, but I am working as a franchisee. They have over 200 stores in over only 4 years of operations. And other convenience store brands is a big trend in Vietnam, such as Family Mart, Circle K, 7-Eleven, Mini Stop, and other convenience stores, because during COVID, the brands really expanded and improved their revenues and profits due to the only thing you can buy is food during the COVID period. In order to open a franchise in Vietnam, the first thing you need to do is understand the market. What is trending right now? So we made a video called the Vietnam Economic Outlook for 2023, where we made predictions on what is trending in the market right now. So you can click on the right-hand corner to watch that video to see what you should invest in. So after deciding which industry is trending, the second consideration you have to make is to understand budget. So you have to look at where your funding sources or capital is coming from. Will it be local funding? Will it be out of your own money, venture capital, private equity, or other sources? And will you have joint venture partners from abroad, or will you just work with local partners in Vietnam? Those are considerations on your budget and understanding the financials behind where your money is coming from. And of course, you have to make a financial plan or budgeting with the rent, equipment, franchise fees, legal fees, accounting, and all the other fees associated with getting your franchise up and running, if that is a franchisee. But if you're going to become a master franchise, definitely you'll have to understand the total plan, the global plan, and how many stores you plan to open in each particular region. As part of your financial plan, you gotta really understand where you will have your location, such as a central business district, which can be very expensive, or you can look at districts further outside of Ho Chi Minh City, such as District 3, District 5, District 2, or what we call Thu Duc City. And the second consideration on the expenses is regarding your staff. You would definitely need staff that are available and willing to work in the particular locations, depending on the skill sets that they have, depending on the age, and also the time. Will they be full-time or part-time? So rent and staffing are the two biggest costs for many of the franchises that you need to consider. However, if you have staff that are a bit further away due to their skill sets, you can provide them accommodations or transportation to the locations as well. And also a big particular cost will be in the systems, operations manual, standard operating procedures that you have in place to make sure that everything is consistent with the franchise model. At Duong Global, we have a team of experts and strategists to help you plan your franchise purchase, so don't hesitate to contact us. Did you know that Ho Chi Minh City used to be called Saigon, and it's well known to attract international foreign direct investments and travelers from all over the world? So if you plan to open up your franchise, we would highly recommend that you open up in Saigon as your first store, because Ho Chi Minh City is the economic capital of Vietnam. So now that we have your location in place, the next thing to consider are the legal needs that you would have in Vietnam. So if you are going to be a master franchise in Vietnam, then you would need the following legal process. You need to set up either a limited liability company or corporation, draft your franchise agreements based on the master franchise, also get your tax ID number, open up your bank account, and then the various different legal agreements you need in place in order to operate your franchise. However, Vietnam does not have a separate franchise law or securities law regulating franchises. It's all under the business law of Vietnam. To open a franchise in Vietnam, especially if it's an international franchise, then you definitely want to hire a mergers and acquisition attorney or a corporate attorney that understands the franchise laws, can review the franchise agreements and advise on the tax implications. Moreover, it's best if they know securities law, franchise law, international tax law, and also the tax law of the local area, including employment law, because those areas are very complex and necessary in order to operate successfully a franchise in Vietnam. And at Duong Global, we have registered over 15 US franchises and helped them come to Vietnam. And also we have assisted clients in purchasing, operating, and running different franchisees. So definitely don't hesitate to contact us if you want registration in the US or looking to buy a franchise to bring to Vietnam. So now you have to consider protecting your franchise. So if you plan to use your own trademark in Vietnam, then you need to make sure that the master franchise in Vietnam has registered the trademark, but also the franchisor in the foreign country has also registered globally, or at least with the WIPO, which is a World Intellectual Property Organization. And also you need to consider 3 other items regarding legal in order to make sure you can open up your franchise in Vietnam. Second, in the franchise agreement, you have to make sure the provision regarding damages is in there specifically, and also confidentiality and IP protection. Third, operationally, you have to do a random audit of the stores, of the franchise, and of the financials to make sure that they keep in compliance with the franchise rules. And in order to do a franchise in Vietnam, there are 2 main ways that you can approach it. One is you can be treated as a foreigner investing into Vietnam under the DT4 program that requires at least 130,000 equivalent or 3 billion VND, and you can get a 12-month visa. We'll talk about that later. The second way is if you are a Vietnamese overseas and were born in Vietnam, then you can get a Vietnamese passport and national ID in order to open a local Vietnamese company to operate and run your franchise. So those are 2 options available. We also help with getting the Vietnamese passport, so you can watch some of our other videos in order to get information about getting that passport. So let's talk about the investor visa. So as a foreigner, you can apply for the DT4 investor visa program, which requires you to invest at least 3 billion VND, between 130 to 140,000 US dollars, and you get it for 12 months. But as you continue to invest and reinvest into Vietnam, you can get all the way up to a DT1, which will allow you 5-year stay in Vietnam. So those are some of the programs that Duong Global and our experts in immigration and business that can help you achieve your long-term goal of investing into Vietnam and staying here. Now that you have the legal entity in place, now you have to find staffing and also build your brand so that employees and potential employees will be attracted to your company. If you want to have a good training program and also have the right employment contracts in place, then our team at Duong Global can help you. But you can also have resources outside to help you get great staff. So if you're looking for management positions or people with more experience and skills, you want to look at places like Vietnam Works, Career Builder, and even LinkedIn. But if you're looking for other positions that have less experience, you can use Invik 24 Hours, Job Hopping, and some of the other sites as well. But you can also post on Facebook, and also LinkedIn is a great place to find jobs as well. So we made a whole video about how to find employees in Vietnam and to talk about employment taxes as well. So you can click on the right-hand corner to watch that video to get more information. A very key component of franchising is the supply chain. So you want to make sure you have good relationships with your suppliers, and also in order to get good ingredients and raw materials. So supply chain is critically important to run a successful F&B business or product-related franchise in Vietnam. So opening a franchise in Vietnam is easy if you know how to do it. So are you prepared to open up your franchise in Vietnam yet? As an investor myself, you want to make sure when you pick a franchise that has good leadership, that has a strong vision, and also has an execution plan that you can follow. So also look at the terms and conditions in the franchise agreement of the master franchise, and then also when you draft your franchise agreements as well. So at Duong Global, we have extensive experience. We've registered 15 US franchises, and we've helped many come into Vietnam, and we've actually purchased ourselves. So let us know if we can help you to begin your dream of owning or running a franchise in Vietnam. So what are your thoughts on this video? So are you looking to build your franchise in Vietnam? Comment below if you already opened a franchise or you're thinking about it, and then we can possibly help you. But if you really like this video and it gave you informative information, please give us a thumbs up, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give us any comments that you have about your experience on franchising. So on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.